In this video, we will see what are the intensive and extensive properties, and we will see what is density, weight density or specific weight, and we will know about the specific gravity. Hello everyone. So now we will discuss the different properties of fluids. So we will start with a few basics. Those are the any characteristic of a system is called property. So characteristic, what do we mean? Now suppose a boy has black color hair. That means that black is the characteristic. What kind of hairs are? Black, brown, white, but they are black. So black is giving you the information about a particular thing. So that will be known as a property, right? So in our subject point of view, we need to be restricted to the properties. They can be considered either intensive or extensive. How we will define? Intensive properties are those that are independent of the mass. This is important. Intensive, independent of the mass of the system, such as temperature, pressure, and density. So density we will see in detail. Now, extensive properties those are dependent on size or extent of the system. In other words, we can say the properties which are mass dependent, they are extensive properties, right? So let me show you one example. This is sufficient enough to tell you how the properties. So let me show you the difference between extensive and intensive properties with the help of this example. So here we have taken a block. This is the block which we have taken, and we have separated it into two parts. So our purpose is to split up the mass. Suppose a body was having mass m. So now we have split up the mass into half m by 2 and m by 2. So now what are the other properties which are going to affect with this? So those are volume. So we can see if we split it in two equal halves, so we will get mass. Yes, it has affected, and volume. Now mass and volume, they both will get changed. So they are dependent on mass. So we can say that it is extensive property. While if suppose this block was at 30 degree centigrade initially. So now also this will be 30 degree centigrade. By splitting it up will not affect the temperature of it. Same we can say about pressure, and same we can say about density. So the both first and second, both the part will have same temperature, same pressure, and same density. So temperature, pressure, and density will come under this intensive property. So now the next property, intensive and extensive. Just for the example, we can take that boiling point intensive property, color intensive property, temperature intensive property, luster intensive property, hardness intensive property, because they are independent of mass. They doesn't depend on the mass. But when we talk about volume, so it depends on mass. When we talk about mass, obviously mass it dependent on mass. When we talk about size, directly related to mass, weight directly related to mass, length also directly related to mass. So these are a few basic properties. There are many more. Just for the sake of example, I have given you these. Now moving on to density. So when we talk about density, density is defined as mass per unit volume. Mass per unit volume. The symbol for density will be rho. We will use this symbol for density. The density of a substance in general depends on temperature and pressure. Obviously it will depend on temperature and pressure, but we will write it like this: density is equals to mass upon volume, right? And the unit of it will be mass. In SI unit, mass we can write kg, and volume we can write meter cube. So remember, this will be the unit of density in SI. SI unit will be kg per meter cube for the density. Obviously CGS unit is also there, that is gram per centimeter cube. Gram per centimeter cube will be the CGS unit. So from objective questions point of view, we should remember both of them. Now move on to specific weight or weight density. So this is also simple. The weight of a unit volume of a substance is called specific weight or weight density. It is expressed as Newton per meter cube. So if you want to write, you can write that weight density, the symbol will be gamma. So we will use this symbol gamma is equals to, this is weight per unit volume. So weight can also be given as mass into gravitational acceleration upon volume. So in that case, we can write that, sir, this must be equal to rho g. Remember this. This is important expression, because sometimes in examination they will try to confuse you. Sometimes they will give you gamma, sometimes they will give you rho. So remember that this rho is mass density. Remember, this rho is mass density, while this gamma is called specific weight or weight density. So remember the difference between them. Now unit we have already written as, the unit of it will be, because weight can be given in Newton and volume meter cube. So we will write Newton per meter cube in SI unit. Remember this. But when it comes to CGS unit, what will be the CGS unit? So in CGS unit, remember how weight can be represented. Weight can be represented as dyne. Unit of weight will be dyne. Weight is a force, and again volume will be given in centimeter cube. So we will write CC. So remember this, dyne per centimeter cube is CGS unit of weight density. Next property is specific gravity. Specific gravity. Now, the density of a substance is given relative to density of a well-known substance. Then it is called specific gravity or relative density. So remember, this is also one of the important terms, specific gravity, or it is also called relative density. We need to remember it. Specific gravity or relative density. Now, it is also defined as the ratio of density of a substance to the density of some standard substance at a specified temperature. So we are talking about standard temperature pressure kind of conditions, and it is the ratio of density of a substance to the density of some other substance, which we will try to understand with the help of, now suppose if we talk about for liquids. So if we talk about for liquids, then we can write that specific gravity can be given as, it can be given as the density of test fluid, for which we want to determine what is the specific gravity, and density of, now the reference fluid for liquids will be generally water. Density of water. Now at 4 degree centigrade. Remember this. This is the standard temperature. At 4 degree centigrade, we need to consider the density of water for liquids. But what about gases? For gases, we need to use, I will write it, for gases, for gases, specific gravity will be equals to, again, density of test fluid to the density of air. So air will be our standard reference fluid at standard temperature pressure. Remember this. This is important. So what will be the density of air at standard temperature pressure? It will be 1.21 kg per meter cube. Need to remember this. This will be the standard for density of air at STP. So I hope you understand this. Now suppose this can be given for various fluids like Hg. We talk about mercury. So for mercury, specific gravity is given as 13.6. So if we want to know actual density of mercury, rho Hg, we just need to multiply this 13.6 into 1000. Now what is 1000? 1000 is density of water at 4 degree centigrade, which all of you know, right? So like this, there will be many test fluids, many oils used in industries, which you should know. So we need not to remember density of anything, just specific gravity will be the term given, and you can approach the problem, right? So that's it for now. Thank you guys.